Hello, everyone. Welcome to Wednesday Night Live with independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator Teresa Harper. I'm located in Oregon in the United States, and I am very happy that you have joined me today. Thank you so much for taking time from your busy day. Let's give everybody about a minute to find us. We will see what we've got here. Who's on? Okay, found myself. Now I can see the comments. Go ahead and let me know when you're here. We are going to be using the Trucking Along bundle today, although I've got to tell you, the Builder Punch, Trucking Along Builder Punch is sold out currently, and it won't be back in until October. Don't wait. Get this Trucking Along stamp set. You don't necessarily need the punch. It's a handy tool to have, but the only image in the stamp set that it punches is the pickup. All these other pieces you will need to hand trim if you're going to have them stick out from your card. So go ahead and pick that up, and let's get started using it. Hello, Cynthia. Hope you're doing all right. Hello, Tracy. All right, so let's wait just another 30 seconds or so. We're going to talk about bonus days. Those are still going on. For every $50 that you spend between the 6th of July and the 31st of July, you earn a $5 coupon. Now you can combine that bonus days. You'll earn those today if you participate in the one-day stamp sale, which is going on through the end of the day. Now, if you're here in the Pacific Northwest, this sale will end at 10:59 p.m. tonight. 15% off all stamps in the 2023-2024 annual catalog, excluding the host sets. Those are already discounted, so no additional discounts on those host sets. And you still need to earn them with a $150 workshop or order. So you can get your stamps on sale at 15% off and still earn a $5 coupon with every $50 that you spend. And then you'll redeem them next month in August. Okay? There's no limit, so keep that going. Mention the stamp sale. Oh, and the other thing that I want to say is if you're looking at bundles, and you're going to purchase a bundle, the bundle price is cheaper. But if you want a piece of the bundle, the stamp set, and you don't want the punch or the dies, then go ahead and pick those up on sale. All right? Hello, Jennifer. Hello, Laura. Oh, Cynthia, I'm glad you're doing okay. Hope you aren't in too much pain. All right, let's go ahead and get started. I was quite busy with the Trucking Along stamp set over the past couple of days. So I've got a couple of projects, and then I've got to share with you, and then I also have a couple of extra things that I've made just to show you. So let's get started with our first card, which I debated about doing after I made several others, but we're going to go ahead and put this one together. We're going to start with a piece of thick basic white. This is 5.5 by 8.5, and we're going to score that in the middle at 4 1/4, and then give that a fold with our bone folder just to give that a nice crisp edge. Okay. And then we're going to take a piece of the bright and beautiful Designer Series paper. This is a 6x6 stack of paper. It has 48 sheets in it. You get 4 each of the 12 double-sided designs, and these are a look at those. This is the one that we're using today. It's a piece of Azure Afternoon. That's the color that's in here. So we're just going to go ahead and add this to our card base. And we're going to use some Stampin' Seal. That's my favorite adhesive. Okay, so we'll just kind of center this on. This piece is 4 by 5 1/4. Okay. Now we'll go ahead and set that aside. Okay, then we're going to bring in, we've got a scrap of basic white for stamping on. And then I also have a 3 3/4 by 5-inch piece of basic white that I'll be stamping a scenery on. Let's go ahead and stamp our pickup truck, though. For that, we're going to be using Memento. We're doing that because we're going to color with the Stampin' Blends. So we're going to stamp our truck and then the daisies. Okay. And then we're going to get some crushed curry. And I'm going to stamp the inside of the daisies. Now the daisies are not symmetrical, and the way that I have found is the easiest to figure out how to go, there is this second flower right here has a little petal that pokes up, and that will match up with this one right here. So if you put that on your block like that, and we're just going to just down and hope we get it there. We did. Okay, let's go ahead and color our images with some Stampin' Blends. So we've got a little bit of dark soft seafoam, dark smoky slate, boho blue, and then we've got the medium deep and the deep SU200. We're also going to be using black, if I can figure out which container I dumped that in. Be using the light basic black and the gray granites along with the light pool party. Okay. I don't know if I've got those all in the picture for you. Hopefully. Okay, there is a stamp to stamp the wheels and the center of the hubcaps, but I find it easier to just take my Stampin' Blend and color the tire. Just like so. Okay. Then I'm going to take some light gray granite and color the front bumper and the back bumper, the center of the hubcap. Go back with the dark gray granite here, and I'm just going to go along the top of the wheel well on the tires, or the wheels, and then I'm going to fill that in with gray granite, the light. Okay, and we're going to use boho blue for the pickup. So I'm going to start with our dark, and I'm going to go around the fenders here. Put just a little bit of dark there along the pickup bed. just to give it a little dimension. Okay. And then I'm going to fill the rest of that in with the light boho blue. Just going to blend those two colors together. Hello, Lynette. Thank you for sharing, Jennifer. Now, there is a stamp to fill in this pickup so you don't have to color it. If you don't have a stamp positioning tool, it is, well, I found it to be difficult to line them up just so. You might not, but I did. So I have opted to color it. I like the looks of the coloring better because I can put the shades of light and dark and give the pickup some detail. Okay, so I've got that. Now I did forget to put my dark gray granite on the steering wheel here. And I want the light pool party for the windows. And then I'm going to go back with the color lifter and I'm going to lift out some of that pool party. Okay, now I'm going to take my dark seafoam. I think I forgot a couple of blends. So I need to color my old olive blends. I'm going to take dark soft seafoam and I'm going to go between my flowers here so that I don't have white space when I cut this. Okay. All right. Because I'm going to hand cut this. The punch does not punch this out. So I'm just going to take just a little bit of the soft seafoam. Okay, then I'm going to take light and dark old olive. I'm going to start with the light. And color in those leaves. And then I'm going to go back with the dark. And I'm just going to give just a flick of color on the artist line there. And then I'm going to fill in the stems. Okay. And then we need the medium deep 300. I'm not sure why I have 200. But at the moment, I'm going to use the medium deep SU 300. And then we're going to take and cut my flowers. Okay, and when I cut my flowers, I'm just going to cut these out. I'm leaving just a tiny bit of a border, and because I already put the soft seafoam there, you can't really see the white. Now when I get down here, I'm going to leave a glue tab for myself. And then I'm going to come back up here and finish cutting this. Okay. So we'll just hand cut that out real quick. All right, and there is my flowers. Now, I'm going to go ahead and punch out my truck, but really, if you don't have the punch, it's not that difficult to hand cut. I have done it. Especially if you stamp something directly in the back of the pickup. Then you have to hand cut anyway. Okay, now, because I'm putting my flowers in the back of the pickup and I don't want a white strip between my flowers and my pickup, I'm going to take my scissors. I'm just going to go right above the black line on the bed and the cab. I'm going to round that up. Okay, just like that. All right. A little bit of Wink of Stella on my window and the back window. And I'm going to put just a little bit of Wink of Stella on my sunflowers. Okay. Now, go ahead and attach my flowers into the bed of my pickup. And this is going to get popped up, so I'm just going to take some Stampin' Dimensionals and hold that together. I'm going to use a Stampin' Dimensional to glue those two pieces together. Okay, and then I'm going to set this aside. And now we're going to stamp our scenery. So let's get rid of Stampin' Blends. Don't get rid of them too far because I will need them again. Alright, so here's our scene. We're pulling out Oceanfront. This is one of my favorite stamp sets. It's a standalone if you don't have it. Good idea to get it today at the 15% off. And we're going to start with the blue for my sky. And I'm going to use Azure Afternoon for that. And I don't want this to be real dark. So I'm going to ink that up. Then I'm going to stamp it off. And then I'm going to stamp it down on my paper. Okay? That almost doesn't look clean. Let's try that again. Not sure why that's picking up green. But it is. So let's... Ooh, I got a little green in that. I must not have cleaned that like I thought I did. Whoops. Okay, well, good learning lesson. If you do, like I just did, think that you have something cleaned and you don't. And I can see a little bit of green in my blue here, so I'm just going to tap this real light with my paper towel. And get that off. And as you can see, it's all blue now, so I think I'm good. Fingers are all messy now. That's not good. Clean those up. Things falling. Okay, let's try that again. Thank goodness each piece of cardstock has two sides. Alright, that should be good to go now. Let's ink that. Oh, you know what? I might have got the green off of that. Maybe need a cleaner piece of scrap paper. Hang on, let me grab. Well, what did I do with it? I'll put it up here. Here's a nice clean piece. Yeah, there we go. Be careful when you're stamping off. If you're stamping into another color, the wet ink will reactivate the ink on your scrap paper, and then you will get what I had. Okay, so let's go ahead, and I'm going to flip this over. I'm going to clean this so I don't get the Azure Afternoon all over my fingers. Close that ink pad up. And then we're going to go to Granny Apple Green. And I'm going to use the other stamp from that set, and I want to be able to see, so I'm going to go ahead and pull that one off. Okay, and I'm going to lay this up next to there so it looks like the horizon. All right, and then I'm going to take this stamp. This is all from Oceanfront. And I'll flip this over like so. And then I'm going to go back in here and fill that in just like that. Okay? Now we're going to put some foreground in, and for that we're going to put in some rocks. Let's get Pebbled Path. And I'm going to start with the large rock in front. Yeah, that doesn't look too bad. My Pebbled Path is pretty inky. Okay, so I'm going to just kind of come down here, put that in. And then I'm going to pick up my double rocks, go across here. All right. And now we have our scene built with our Oceanfront stamps. Next, we're going to add our road. Okay, and I'm going to do that with Memento. Let's go ahead and put this, you know what? No, I'm going to do that with the Pebbled Path. That's what I'm going to do. So I'm just going to take the stamp that looks a little bit like a road, and I'm going to try to get this straight along here. Okay. And then I'm going to go back with my Granny Apple Green. And this time I'm going to stamp off. And I'm just going to add a little bit of this right there. Okay? Just to fill in that white space. All right. So next we'll take the tree and we're going to do this in Memento. This is from the Trucking Along bundle. And let's get that out of here so we don't need this. And we're going to go up here. We're going to stamp a tree along here. Another tree a little bit higher here. And one more tree over here. Okay, so we've got that. Next, we're using Garden Green. And we're taking the tree top. I'm going to line up the branches and the tree trunk. And I'm just going to stamp that down. Okay. All right, so we've got that. And that pretty much is our scenery put together. Okay. So we can set that aside. Now we're going to grab that deep SU200 natural tone marker. And this is where we're going to color in our trunk. Right there. real quick color just to fill that in. Okay, now this is ready to add to our card. So let's go ahead and grab our Stampin' Seal. Okay, I just hit my silicone mat with that to get it moving again. We're going to center this up. Oh, shoot. Hang on, I forgot to stamp my sentiment. And I should do that now. Okay, so I'm going to take Because You're Awesome, and this comes from Circle Sayings. The Circle Sayings and the Trucking Along bundle have the same fonts. So I pulled out Because You're Awesome. And we are going to stamp this in Misty Moonlight because I wanted it to be a little bit darker. And I'm hoping that I get this stamped all nice and straight because I really don't want to start over. And there we go. Okay. So there's that. Now we can add this. Just peel that up off that silicone mat, easy as pie. We'll add this to our card front. Take our backings, wax paper backings off of the dimensionals. Put our truck, oh yeah, put our truck down. I forgot, I did do one thing with this. You know what? I'm going to trim these wheels. I want this to look like it's down on the road. So I'm going to trim off a little bit of that white border. Like so. And then I'm going to take my light gray granite Stampin' Blend, which of course you should do before you have the wax paper off of the Stampin' Dimensionals. And I'm just going to run my Stampin' Blend along that white edge. Just so that when I set that down on my road, it looks like it's meeting the road. So if I can get that on there straight. Okay, almost finished. You know what? I didn't grab extra. Well, I forgot to grab, I ran out of my linen thread where it's easily accessible. So I will show you how I would finish that up. I'll show you the original card. I would put a linen thread bow right here on the pickup bed. For the inside, I stamped the grass and some daisies and the trees again. And we're just going to add this to the inside of our card. And again, I'm going to grab that silicone mat and get that Stampin' Seal started the easy way. Okay, so we've got that. And to finish it off, we have a matching envelope. Okay? So there we are. I hope you like the first card. Here is what it looks like when you have the linen thread bow. Oh, I forgot. Let's get our butterflies and our rustic dots. Okay. or take your pick tool. Start with the butterflies. I used all small ones on this one. I think that makes a huge difference in how it's finished off. And then I'm going to take my rustic metallic dots. You'll find these in the annual catalog. Okay. Now it really is finished except for the linen thread bow. Okay. And there it is with the linen thread bow. All right. Hope you liked that one. Let's move on to number 2. Set this one aside. Okay. And I'm going to need to probably clean a few things. All right. Here are a couple more scenery cards just to show you. Here's one using the tropical theme. And this piece of paper here comes from Fresh as a Daisy. I was looking through my DSPs, and this particular sheet has this beautiful scenery that I thought looked a little beachy. So I just cut this. You just cut it along the line here, then cut it here, then cut here, and then you can cut here. Okay, Stampin' Up! Made it really easy to separate those for us. All right, so we've got that. And then on the inside, I put a piece of the Fresh as a Daisy paper along the bottom and stamped the daisies again. So there's another scenery card. And then I have one more. This one I was actually going to make with you tonight, but then today I got busy doing another card and I decided to do it instead of this. So this is the Wishing You a Festive Christmas card, and this uses the One Horse Open Sleigh, that beautiful scenery paper. This is the 6x6 piece that I took that from. And then I just stamped the road kind of down here, colored my truck in red, and used the tree from the trucking bundle and the Farm Fresh. Okay, and for this one on the inside, this sentiment here comes from Very Best Occasions, and I pulled these trees from Regal Reindeer. Okay, so I hope you like those scenery cards. Now let's get on to the project. Okay. Got something that feels like stuck on the bottom of my foot here. It's driving me crazy. Okay, let's get out our cards. All right, or our pieces. So I've got a piece of real red, and I cut this wrong. I meant to score it at 4 1/4, but I used the cutting blade instead. So we've got a piece of 4 1/4 by 11, and I'm just going to make a hot dog card. Well, actually, yeah, I don't. That's what they call it. I'm going to score this at 5 1/2. Okay. I didn't want to waste this piece of paper, so I'm just going with it. That happens sometimes. So we can go ahead and fold this and give it a burnish. right. I've done some of this ahead of time. I didn't think you needed to watch me color a truck again. Okay, now I've taken from the Natural Prints dies, and I've used this large wreath, and I've cut 3 of those. One from Garden Green, one from Shaded Spruce, and one from Granny Apple Green. Okay, so we've got those. This is actually my inside piece. I did my outside layer, but I thought I would show you with the inside piece what I did, because I'm going to go a step beyond on this one. I'm going to turn this over so I've got the icky side. And I'm just going to put a little bit of temporary adhesive and secure my card in here. Oh, no wonder why I was having trouble with that. They don't exactly match up. 1 centimeters and 1 inches. Okay, so I'm just going to do this, put that down. Then I'm going to take one of the artistic masks. This is called Artistic Mix Decorative Masks. And I'm going to take this. I'm going to line this up how I want it. Oh, before I do that, what you would do when you're doing the front, this is what you would get, is just put this on here and tape it down. Now, this is for my inside piece, and I want a place to put my inside sentiment. So before I do that, I've taken a 2 3/8 inch punch and punched out a piece of Post-it note. This is a super sticky Post-it note. And I'm going to try and put this in the middle of my inside layer here, like so. And then I'm going to lay my mask over the top. And I'm going to line this up. I pay attention. You don't have to, but I do. I pay attention to where, try to get it so it looks kind of even all the way. And then I'm going to tape down the corners. With some Post-it tape. Make sure that didn't move. My underpiece. Okay. Then I'm going to take some copper clay ink and a blending brush. Make sure this is semi-clean. And I'm going to take a little bit of copper clay, rub off the beginnings because I don't want that icky spot there on my card. And then I'm going to very gently rub. I am holding my stencil because I don't really want it to move. I'm using just a light touch. I do not want this to be very dark. Okay. I'm happy with that, and that's exactly how I did this front piece, except I didn't put down the circle mask. Okay, then I can pull this up, and this I can just clean with a baby wipe or turn it over on my Stampin' Chamois and give it a good wipe. And now when I pull this off, I've got a space for my inside sentiment. Okay, so let's go ahead and put in our inside sentiment, which says, what did I, got the wrong one. Wrong stamp set. Oh, here it is right here. May your days be happy, your heart be light, your Christmas merry, and the new year bright. And I am going to stamp this in Shaded Spruce. Okay, make sure that's well inked. And then I'm just going to place this down. And there we are. Inside sentiment is done. Okay, now this is ready for the inside of our card. So I'm going to go ahead and rub this temporary tape off the back so I can set this over here. All right, let's go ahead and turn this over so we have a clean, non-distracting surface. And now we've got this. Okay, so I've already cut our tree, or our truck, and I've done this in real red, used the Pool Party gray granite and the black. And then we're going to need some presents and a tree, and I'll show you how easily those are to stamp. Thought I got a piece of scrap white out for that. Let me look. Okay, well, we'll use this one. Okay, so we're going to pull out the shaded spruce. I've got the tree here. So we're going to use shaded spruce. We're going to stamp the outline of the tree. Shaded spruce, and then I'm going to ink up the inside inside background, and I'm going to give that a quick stamp off. Whoops. Get it evenly. I'm not trying to take too much ink off, so I'm trying to give it a quick stamp. And I'll line that up, and now my tree is done. And then I'm going to take the memento one more time, and then get the presents. I'm going to stamp this twice. And then copper clay. And the inside of my presents right here. Now these can be a tiny bit tricky, so what I found is if I line this up how I think it should go, and then I set it down just a smidge lower, it usually works out. Okay. All right. So we've got those. Now those need to be hand cut. And so for the presents, what I did, the tree, again, you're going to come in and cut and leave yourself a glue tab. Okay. And I'm not going to finish cutting that because I've already done it. And this is what you get. Okay. On the presents, I cut them straight across, and then I finished cutting them out. Okay, and here those are. And I added Wink of Stella to the copper clay bits. Okay, so that'll save us, I did that to save us some time. So now we are ready to start assembly. We have our pieces, except that, oh, there it is. Whew, I'm like, somehow I lost my other thing here, but I didn't. Okay, so we're going to take these wreaths, and I'm going to take my fine tip glue bottle with my Tombow glue in it, and I'm just going to add some drops of glue here and there. Nothing crazy. These do have cuts in them, so you don't want to go crazy because your glue will squeeze through. the holes if you aren't careful. But Tombow is a very good glue, so a little bit goes a long way. And then I'm going to take and center this on my plaid piece. Give that a press. I'm going to go ahead and add this to my card now. Like so. And then next, I'm going to add a Granny Apple Green. Now you could take a sponge and your silicone mat and put your glue on that way if you find that easier. This works well for me. The fine tip glue bottle makes all the difference. And then I'm going to twist this so it's different than the other layer. And then I'm going to take one of my blocks and give that a press. And finally I'm going to add my garden green to the top. Okay, a little bit there. All right. And then again, I'm going to take a look at where I don't have things again, and I'm going to put this down like so. If you watch how you put these on, this fern is not quite circular. I mean, it's circular, but it's not perfect. So if you do it like this, you end up with something that looks pretty good. Okay. Now we need, where did my 1/2" strip go? And hopefully this is 2 3/4. Let's measure. Nope. That is not going to be long enough. I need a 2 3/4 inch. I thought I had one in this. Oh, I do, right here. 1/2 inch by 2 3/4. I'm going to take and stamp my outside sentiment here that says wishing you a festive Christmas. And I'm going to do that with shaded spruce. Okay. I'm going to put this right in the middle here. Alright, set that aside to dry for a second. We're going to put some Stampin' Dimensionals. We're going to add our tree to our pickup bed, and I'm just going to take that glue tab again, slide that in there like that, and I'm going to put just a tiny bit of liquid glue so that will grab for a second how I want it, like that. And then I'm going to add my Stampin' Dimensional over the top. I'm going to keep my dimensionals along the bottom of my truck because this is going to stick up over the wreath a bit. So we're just going to put this right here in our wreath. I am going to now take this and the Pick a Banner punch, and I want to do this now before I put my gifts on so I know where to put those. So I'm going to take the banner Pick-a-Punch, and I'm taking the flagged end. This is a 1/2 inch, so it'll slip right in here. Okay, I'm going to make sure that's against the back. Turn it around. I'm going to do the same thing. My 1/2 inch strip looks to be just a tiny bit wider than 1/2 inch. Okay, so we've got that. Now we've got our banner ready to go. I'm going to take my bone folder, give that a curve here and here, and then I'm going to give those very tips of these a little curve. Okay, take a Stampin' Dimensional, put in the middle. And then I'm going to take some minis. I'm going to put those right here at these ends. Remove those backings. And then we're going to add this in here. Oh, like so. Okay, I'm going to take our presents, and we're going to use minis because the large ones don't fit. Just going to press those right in the center. Stick one there. And one over here. Okay, so we've got those. Now we've got the burlap and a real red and burlap ribbon combo. I'm going to tie us up a double bow. Let's get our scissors ready. Close our glue bottle so that doesn't dry out. Okay. I like to tie on the spool so I don't waste any, or as little as possible. Give that a quick trim. Okay, there's our bow. Separate those loops. Grab a glue dot. Now I'm going to put two. I'm going to put one on either side of that knot to really hold that securely. And I'm going to put this up here in the center. And then I'm going to trim off those ends. Okay, we're almost done. We can go ahead and add our inside piece. Oh, thank you, Tracy. Yeah. Sometimes I get carried away on the attention to detail. Okay, there we go. Got that, and now we need some gems. So let's see. Here are our festive pearls. And these pearls are actually cherry cobbler. So I want to make them look a little bit more real red. So I'm going to take my dark real red, Stampin' Blend. And give those a color real quick. While that's drying, go ahead and show you what I did with the envelope. So with the envelope, I took real red and that same stencil and made a coordinating envelope flap, just so that everything would coordinate nicely. Now let's go ahead and add, ooh, I got an open pad here. Not a good thing. Okay, so let's slide that off. I'm going to put one up here, one over here, and one right there. Okay, and there is our finished card. I hope you like those. Okay, now I took this one just one step further because not everybody wants to do Christmas in July or get started on their Christmas cards now. So why not take this and turn it into a birthday card? So what I've done is I've used some Parakeet Party cardstock. I used the black and white gingham ribbon, the classic matte dots, I think that's what those are called, out of the annual catalog. Again, I used that stencil. There's my temporary adhesive to hold that down for my stencil. And then I used the birthday cakes from Hey Chuck. That's where I pulled those from, right here. And then red pickup truck. I used classic, 2 of the gray classic matte dots as the hubcaps. Used black. And then these colors for the greenery are Granny Apple Green, Parakeet Party, and Garden Green. And then I colored with Parakeet Party, and this is Lemon Lolly with a little bit of pumpkin pie there, just to make that. And here's the inside of that birthday card. I did the same thing, masking that off. So there's 2. Using that same layout, just made one Christmas and one birthday. All right, and let's see, I think I've showed you all the cards that I made. One last item that I did make as soon as I got my truck. I made these little scissor charm things with shrinky dink material, and then the pickup truck. This is the Nested Essentials die that I used to cut the shrinky dink material after I stamped on it with Stays On, and then colored on the back with my Stampin' Blends, and then baked it to shrink it. All right, so those are my trucking along projects for tonight. I hope that you have enjoyed those. And I will be back again next week with another card or 3D tutorial. Don't know what I'm doing next week for sure yet, but we'll see you again at the same time. Hope everybody has a great week. And I really think if you like this bundle, go ahead, get the stamp set now. You can wait for the punch to come back in stock if you want the punch. Like I say, you can hand cut the truck. It's really not that big of a deal. It's not that hard. And we will see you soon. Oh, hello, Mary. Good night, everybody. Have a great week. Thanks for watching.